Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 734 of Screw the Commute podcast. I'm here with one of my favorite people in the whole world, Christina Hills. I've known her, I think, maybe she'll correct me, about 20 years. I'm not sure, can't remember. I don't think backwards that well. But I can tell you one thing, I've never heard a bad thing about her, and people do tell me because my consumer advocate when people are schmucks, and never heard a bad word about her. In fact, the opposite. Everything she does is really top notch, and she's doing a big launch. And I talked her into telling us about how she set it up because I've been around 29 years online, seen lots of launches, and this is the best one I've ever seen, the way it was organized and easy for me to participate in. And so that's what she's going to talk about today. And I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from that. And you can take advantage of the great stuff she's putting out. All right, I hope you didn't miss episode 733. That was part of my three-prong attack I developed around 1996, and it's still working today. But the third prong is about products. So I teach you how to crank out a really fast product today so you can see that, yes, you can do this, and it's still high quality. So episode 733. Anytime you want to get to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number, that was 733. And this one, 734, I'm sure you're going to want to pass on to your friends and colleagues because all of us are thinking about launches and doing launches and making new products come out. And this is a perfect blueprint for that. All right, make sure you follow me on TikTok at Digital Multimillionaire, and write this link down because this is where you're going to want to go. Screwthecommute.com/super masterclass. Screwthecommute.com/super masterclass. And that's where you're going to be able to see really great info put out by Christina about your website. And that's the whole thing. So many people have websites made for them. They have no clue what's going on. And that is a mistake. I've been preaching that for 100 years. Even if you can't do everything yourself, or you don't have to program, but you should know how to do it and how to make pages and how to make it look nice and all that stuff. So that's what she talked about on that. All right, let's bring on the main event. Christina Hills is the creator of the Website Creation Workshop and has been passionately teaching non-techie authors, experts, small business owners, coaches, and consultants how to easily create their websites so they can get their message out to the world. Preaching to the choir with me, that's for sure. She puts the fun in technology and empowers people to control their marketing and online presence fully. Christina, are you ready to screw the commute? I don't want your husband to punch me out. That's why I said it fast.
Tom. Yes, Tom. And yes, I think it has been 20 years.
Oh, my goodness. Time flies.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah, but you know what sucks? You look the same as I met you. That really sucks. And then that's why I had audio only for today so people couldn't see how young you look. I had to grow a beard to cover my face because I heard that razor blades contributed to global warming, so I quit shaving a long time ago.
Well, beard, you look great in a beard.
Well, it covers stuff up. So here's the deal. One thing I love about you is that you had a big, fancy, but high-paying job, and when you had your baby, you said, "I'm quitting. I'm not going to be like these other executives and never see their kids." Tell them about that.
Yeah, so I was working in the special effects industry. I worked for George Lucas's company, Industrial Light and Magic.
And he's known for
Star Wars.
Yeah.
So Star Wars, there's a lot. I worked on a Jurassic Park 2, and that was a lot of fun. So I had a really fun job in the entertainment industry and absolutely loved it. So if you rent Star Wars Episode 1, that came out in like 96, I think. Not the one that came out in the 70s. I'm not that old. So, right. So Star Wars Episode 1, you can rent it and you'll see my name in the credits.
Yeah.
under digital artists. Anyway, it was a fabulous career. I absolutely loved it. But when I had my daughter, I looked at all the other women working at this company, and their kids were away from them 12 hours a day. I mean, Tom, they basically had time to pick their kids up from daycare, take them home, feed them, give them a bath, and put them straight to
Yeah.
bed.
No life at all, really.
No, right. So who is raising your kids? Not you, it's somebody else.
That'd even
So
be worse today.
yeah, yeah. So, because I worked 5, 6 days a week, 10, 12-hour days.
Right.
And that's kind of what it took. And, everybody has to decide for themselves what's right for them and their family. But for me, I really wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, at least in the beginning. And this is funny, Tom. So for a year when she was born, I didn't work, and then I just couldn't sit still.
Right.
I just couldn't sit still, and
Somebody
that's
with
about
your
the time.
mind cannot sit still.
Exactly, and that's about the time that I met you. So I started, dabbling and learning all this internet marketing stuff.
Yeah, and it paid off in several ways. You didn't have to go fight traffic in Los or wherever the heck you were in California, and you built a great career, and you have a great daughter, not some
Yes,
nutcase,
yes,
which was raised
yes.
by hyenas in daycare. You
And
know?
I was able to schedule, like, I teach a lot on webinars, do live
Mm-hmm.
online events. I was able to schedule them around my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, I don't think I ever told you the story. I'm teaching a webinar and I get a phone call, and I told the whole class, I'm sorry, I have to put you on hold. That's my kid, right? My
Uh-huh.
kid never calls. And I thought they would be bothered by that, and they were so impressed that I put my daughter
Right,
first.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
they were all very kind. So
Well,
yeah, it's been really great.
it's beautiful. I know I don't have kids, but I do the same if my dog calls,
Right.
so
Hey,
so
I've got another Tom Screw the Commute story that
what's
you would
that?
like. So I was traveling to visit a friend. I was going to New York, and I said, "Great, well, let's get together for lunch. Are you free this day?" And he goes, "I have to check with my boss to see if I could get off work." And I was like, "Oh my
For
goodness,
lunch.
I've not had to check with
Right.
anybody in so many years, Tom, and as a online entrepreneur, as you and I are, we forget what it's like for people who are working.
Well, I never even knew because remember, the reason this is called Screw the Commute, I've never had a job,
Oh, I
so
didn't know that.
yeah,
Oh,
that's why it's called Screw the Commute. I never had a job. I had a little bit, maybe a summer job in high school and college and stuff, but no, I've
oh,
never
wow.
been employed by anybody.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, that's what Screw the Commute's all about. So this launch you got coming up. Yeah, so I've been
Yes.
around, like I said, 29 years selling online and have been through hundreds basically of launches. And this is the best one I've ever seen put together. Can you tell them a little bit about the planning that went through this and how you made it easy and how you got the, such important people to promote for you?
Okay, so launching is an interesting thing. And so, just to explain to people who may not know what launching is, think of it like when a movie comes out, like you go to the movie theater and you see the trailer for a movie coming up this summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that is where they're letting you know that this event is going to happen, which is, the movie coming out, right? So, that's how you want to think about launching. You have to plan ahead to let people know that it's going to be coming out.
So how far and ahead did you start the planning for this? Now, you've done this before, I think.
I've done this
Yeah.
before. As much well, it all depends if you're going to just promote yourself and not involve affiliate partners. And so, affiliate partners, for people who don't know, are other business owners who tell their community about your program. So, my
Usually
program
for
is
some remuneration, like a affiliate commission or
for a
something like
commission.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So, my program, the Website Creation Workshop, I teach people how to build their websites in WordPress themselves, even if they're not techie, so that they can fire that expensive and or lazy webmaster
Or stupid.
or stupid
That
or
doesn't know what they're supposed to do to help you.
doesn't know what they're supposed to
Yeah.
do, or they don't get your vision.
Mhm.
I have these creative people and they go to these web geeks, if I can say that. So, they're not all bad, Tom, but
No,
they just
that's why I bought the domain name Kill Your Web Designer. I
that's a
actually
good
own that domain.
that's a good domain name. Anyway, so when you're going to plan a launch, so my class is an event, right? We start and I teach them live online, and there's lots of uh, pre-made videos that go along with it. But I really like live events.
Mhm.
There's a lot of enthusiasm. So I have to then let my partners know that this is going to come up. So as much advance notice as possible, but I would say the minimum should be like 2 months.
Yeah, if you were starting from scratch, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about launching, Tom. You have to wear different hats. So you wear the hat of you yourself, right? You're the business, you have your own email list or your own community, and you're going to let your community know about this. Then you have to put the hat on for your partners, right? So your partners are going to let their
Mhm.
community know about it. So when I write my email, hey, website creation workshop is coming up. I wanted to let you know what I'm going to be doing, like that you would say in the first person. You have to write that also a version for your partners in the third person.
Yeah, and this typically, folks, would be called swipe, if you've heard
Swipe,
that term
right,
before.
right.
So
And
she's
that
providing
term,
swipe to make it easy for me to promote her. That's what's called.
exactly. And the term swipe is an old copywriting term. And I don't really like the term because it sort of means, it kind of means you're stealing from
Yeah,
other
but
people.
it's highly accepted, and pretty much you're taking an idea and change it. Because if I don't know how close you looked at my emails, but none of them were exactly what you sent me.
Yeah, no, I did look
Yeah.
at yours and I could tell. I was like, oh, good. Tom is like rewriting them for his own audience.
Right, right. Um, but anyway, you have to, what she's doing is making it easy for me to get started, and so
Exactly.
because I've had so many people want me to promote them, but they want me to do all the work, and I'm busy and I got 20 people
Right.
begging me to promote them, and you're making me do all this work and they're making it easy on me. Well, I guess who's going to win?
Right. 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 So that's the thing. If you're going to have people promote for you, so I'm talking to the audience right now, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You want people to promote for you, you have to make it easy for them. Very easy. And one of the things that we do, Tom, is we mail to our partners every day.
Right. Yep.
And so for the feeble ones who don't like daily emails, they're not going to do well. You just have to accept if you're a partner, you're going to get emails from the person promoting every day. And I like that because I like to know what's going on.
Well, I like it because I'm damn busy.
Right.
And if I have to think, okay, what do I got to do today? All right, it's 48 things. And then here's, I know I got to do something for Christina. Oh, boom, there, I can just go for today's affiliate thing and see what's going on. Because, I got a lot of stuff going on. And most top affiliates, the people that you want to have promote you, do have a lot of things going on.
Right, right. And it's interesting, Tom, like you're a great partner. You're very engaged. But there's other partners, and this is what everyone has to think about. Some partners are going to be really engaged and really on it, like you, Tom. And other partners are going to be not that engaged. So they're not going to mail for you every day, right? So the best partners will mail for you every day, but you can't expect that from everybody. So you have to keep in mind when you're communicating with your partners, there's some things that are more important than others. So you want to get the ones who are only going to send 2 or 3 emails. You want to get them focused on, all right, if you're only sending 2 or 3 emails, these are the things you need to mail for.
Well, also, the reason you got to plan ahead is because people like me and the people that do want to, really get behind you, will have other things booked and won't be able to do it if you don't give them enough notice.
Right. Like I've got a gal who's on her way to Europe and she's like, I need all my stuff now because I'm on my way to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So what we try to do is send our partners in the very beginning, here's all the links you're going to need.
Yeah, see,
And
I'm
then
on my way to McDonald's. I need to I need to get this stuff before I get into a Big Mac stupor.
yeah.
Okay, so you recruited these people. Now the thing is, it's hard unless you've built up some clout with these people, or that the big people aren't going to promote you. It's relationship based in some cases.
It's very
Hmm.
relationship based. Yeah. You have to be, in communication with your partners. And I find if you can meet your partners in person, that's even better. But not everybody can do that, and I know like you and I, Tom, knew each other online. And
Hmm.
then when we met in person, it just
Hmm.
deepens the connection.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Zoom's not bad. Like I want to let everybody know, like connecting with on Zoom is not bad, but if you can in person is better.
Yeah, and talking about planning ahead, if you think you like this idea, start helping out other people promote their launches to get to know them and do a good job at it, and they'll start noticing you.
Right. Right, exactly. So, yeah, well organized launches helps you get noticed.
Yeah, because it would be difficult to contact many of these people. But if you're
Exactly.
promoting for them and you start climbing up their leaderboard, tell them about leaderboards and stuff, they're going to notice you and then
Right.
be more likely to talk to you in person, and as the relationship grows.
Okay, so let's talk about leaderboards. So when you're running a launch, many people though, so the person running the launch, maybe you would call them the producer or the host, right? They will often have a contest for their partners. And sometimes the contest has prizes, sometimes contests don't have prizes. So what you do is you try to every day or maybe every other day, you put out a leaderboard of who's the top person who's performing in the launch. And so
Well, actually, a
um,
top list of people, right?
top list of
Yeah.
people, yeah, like the top 10 or whatever number you have, right? Everybody does it a little bit differently. So we put out the top 10. So we have the top people who are performing in our launch, and it makes it more fun. And then people can see how they're doing compared to others. And that's an incentive for your partners to try harder, especially if you have a prize.
Yeah, I'm
So,
jumping on this because I won the last four I was in, and now I'm only three in this one. So I'm like, hey, that's not right. So I keep pushing harder, and that's the
well,
same.
here's an interesting thing, Tom. So, leaderboards. So we're doing two contests. We're doing an opt-in contest and a sales contest. And sometimes people will win an opt-in contest, but they don't win the sales
Mm-hmm.
contest.
Yep, that's right. And sometimes they don't win the opt-in, but they have a higher quality person
People,
that they send to you that spend more money.
exactly.
So yeah, so it's great. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, like I have a gal, she's not participating in this one because she's got other commitments. She has a very tiny list, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
but her people convert into sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you want to do well in a launch, the best thing to do is have a bonus that goes along with that you would give a bonus. So for example, so once the cart opens, and I'll just explain that to people who might not know. So when you're doing a launch, people have to wait, they can't buy yet. And then when your product or program is for sale, we call that cart open day. That's when customers can go ahead and buy. So the partners who offer a good bonus, like, hey, if you buy Christina's website creation workshop, you'll also get this thing from me. Those partners do the best.
It's very similar Also there's a thing called vanity metrics. And this is the problem with a lot of social media people. I got 9 million followers. All right, how much money did you make? $2. You know, so we're talking about the quality of the people on your list is way more important than
Exactly.
the quantity. I mean, yeah, you can brag and brag and brag, but that doesn't pay the bills.
You
So
know, Tom, I've got someone, I'm not going to say his name, a partner who bragged about 62,000 Instagram followers.
yeah,
I haven't seen anything from the guy.
exactly. That's what I mean, you know. So
He's got 100 clicks, and I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe those were, who knows how he got those followers.
yeah, and yeah, it could have bought them. They could be fake. I mean, when I teach Instagram, I can knock most people's list down by 40-50% if just showing them how to find the people that are worthless on their list. So, um, but okay, so we got incentives for your partners, and
Right.
the
Incentive for your partners, and then the partners give incentives for their
hmm
audience to make the purchase.
there you go.
Like that the extra bonuses that you might give on top of all the bonuses that I give.
Right. And overall, though, I'd have to say that just looking at your launch, the communication was the most impressive to me. You know, you have a launch assistant there, so while you're doing something else, I could always get question answered from her. I think it's a her, and
Yes.
um, and the everyday emails telling me what to do, so I don't have to think about it. So yeah, I think the communication and the planning, and then all the graphics too. So you're a graphics person. You slant a lot towards that. So you had a lot of different size graphics for different platforms, right?
Right, right. So I like to give my partners graphics because I'm very graphics oriented. I find if there's a picture that goes along with words, it's just a lot easier for me to comprehend something. And so I like to give my partners graphics. If they want to use them, they can use them in their emails, they can use them in social media, however you want to use them. I like to give my partners the option. Often, Tom, when I'm promoting other people, they don't give me graphics.
Mm-hmm.
So then what I wind up doing is I just go take screenshots
Yeah,
and then
I've done that, and I can make graphics, and I use a free program called iPicky,
Mhm.
IPICCI or
I
Y.com.
teach that
Oh, really?
iPicky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'll
it's
tell you
great.
what, I actually used them on your graphics because your graphics had the direct email or the direct links on them, and I wanted to use my affiliate link. So
Ah,
I covered your link with a graphic and did a what do they call it, an eyedropper to match the color, so
mhm,
yours
mhm.
disappeared, and then I put mine on top. So sorry.
Well, this is
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So, Tom, this is good for the audience to hear, right? So, you're letting me know, you as my partners, letting me know that you ran into this thing, so you found a workaround. It didn't occur to me, ooh, I need to take the direct link off of there,
Well,
right?
that
So,
yeah, that's kind of thing because not everybody has the skill that I have, or graphic skill,
exactly,
or time to do anything about it. And
exactly.
the last thing, and here's for folks out there. I don't know if I'm sure you don't know this story, but the only speech I ever canceled on purpose because the promoter was fraudulent, I won't say the
Mm.
names, was because of affiliate stuff. They were stealing affiliate commissions by putting, for instance, they said, "Oh, well, the first person that signs up under your link, yeah, you get the commission, but if they bring a bunch of other people, that's going directly to me." But the thing is, they didn't say that. They just stole all the referral people if I sent multiple people. So I canceled the whole thing. I gave whatever commissions I had to the other speakers, and I blackballed that guy forever. So the last thing you ever want to do, folks, is accidentally, or I mean, on purpose for sure, but accidentally make your affiliates think, am I going to get my commissions or not? So that's what we're
Right,
talking about here.
right. Right. Well, I wanted to let you know, Tom, what we do, and I don't know if other people do it. We hand go through each order to make sure the commission's proper.
Yeah, and that's good. And another
And that
thing,
takes time. It
yeah.
takes time to hand go through each
Oh,
order.
I know that to be the case. But another thing that you did was beautiful is every email I got was customized with my affiliate link, where I
Right.
didn't have to go and fool with it every time and wonder, where is it? What do I do? Um, but a
Right.
thing that you may have noticed that I do also to make it easy is I use a plugin for WordPress called Pretty Links. So
Ah,
because affiliate links, folks, are normally weird looking, long AF equals and a bunch of numbers and a bunch of crap you can't say on interviews, and you can't, it looks funny when you put it out there.
right.
So I just put, like, for instance, the one here is screwthecommute.com/super masterclass. And so that loops through it's called a cloaking program basically, but it loops through and it's easy to say. People aren't afraid of looking at it because it's just a simple
Right.
looking link. So that's what I did with all my affiliate links. Although I was really pleased that I didn't have to go find them all the time. Every email had them in there. And that's what I'm trying to say. She did such a great job of not making me have to search for stuff.
Yeah. And I've got a great analogy for this, Tom. So remember soap operas? Have you ever
Mm-hmm.
watched a soap opera?
Yep.
Like the old-fashioned
Mm-hmm.
Days of Our Lives,
Yep.
right? One Life to Live, all those old ones. If you watch soap operas, they're constantly reviewing what the plot is so that anyone can start watching the soap opera at any point and know what's going on. So I like to think of that the same. So that's why all of our emails, even though I've given you the link every single day for the past 10 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I give it again. And I remember talking to a newbie and they're like, well, we already sent it to them yesterday. I'm like, no, you got to send it every day. So, like in a soap opera, Tom, they don't say, hey, George, how was your trip? They'll never say that. They'll say, hey, George, how was your trip to New York with your ex-girlfriend who just broke her leg?
Right,
Right?
right.
So that's the same way to approach communicating with partners. They're busy. They can't read everything. They can't remember everything. So give them everything they need each time.
Beautiful. All right, so now we've told them about the launch. Tell them about actually what this master class that I have been promoting this past week. And I think we're going to send them to the replay of it since the live master class is done. But what would they learn if they took the time to watch it?
So the masterclass talks about building a WordPress website. So not only do I teach, building websites, but I focus in on WordPress because it is the most popular, best platform to have your website on. And it is so flexible. Like you can be a solo entrepreneur just getting started or a Fortune 500 company like the Walt Disney Company, right? So it's a platform that grows with you. So in my masterclass, I explain how websites work. I explain the relationship between the domain name and the hosting company. I show lots of examples of WordPress sites. I actually go in and will show them how to create a page in WordPress. So my training, Tom, is very visual. It's a combination of slides and me doing live demos. So, like, I show them how to create a page. I talk about what's important to know as a non-techie person. And then I talk about theme design. And what theme design is your website has a look and feel. And with WordPress, it's very easy to change the look and feel, the design, without having to have a web designer. Like you remember the old days, Tom, way, way back, right? Because we both go way
It took
back.
me a year to get the graphic of my Wake 'em Up Business Presentations book on my website because you had to do HTML until
Right.
1997 when Microsoft Front Page came out.
Right. So now, like in the old days, if you wanted to redesign your site, you had to like hire somebody when it was like building a brand new
Yeah.
site. But in my masterclass, I show how easy it is to switch designs and something that anybody can do themselves.
Now, another thing I did on the launch, I'm not sure if you recognize it or not, but first of all, I concur and have been saying for many years that WordPress is the gold standard. But in my promotion for the launch, I took the word WordPress out. It was never seen. The reason is I didn't want anybody that had gotten sucked in with Wix or Drupal or some other crap to say, well, I already have a Wix site. There's no sense me trying to look at a WordPress thing. So I got them to click and try to be convinced that they're messing up by using these crap you see on TV as opposed to WordPress. So I left that WordPress out of all my promotion for this.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because in my masterclass, I talk about why you don't want to use Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My thing is I tell people if there's anything that you see on national TV being advertised about web internet stuff, you can be sure it's to grab people that don't know any better and steal their money. That's
exactly.
What it's. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, great. So we got to take a brief sponsor break. And when we come back, we'll ask how Christina spends a typical day. So folks, about 25 years or so ago, I kind of turned the internet marketing guru world on its head, and that people at my level were charging 50 or 100 grand up front to help you with your website. And I knew a lot of these people. You give them 50 grand up front, they'd be hiding out in Mexico. You'd never see them again. So I kind of turned that on its head, and I charged an entry fee, which was like 90% lower than what they were charging. And then for me to get my 50 grand, you had to net 200 grand. Well, 1,800 students later and 25 years, it's still going strong. It's the longest running, most unique, and most successful internet and digital marketing mentor program ever. You get an immersion weekend at the Great Internet Marketing Retreat Center where you actually live in the estate home with me for an immersion weekend. We have our own TV studio where we shoot videos for you. And it's all one-on-one. There's no group stuff because I don't want to lump you in with people more advanced or less advanced. You also, this is a big perk. I have the only licensed, dedicated internet and digital marketing school in the country, probably the world. And you get a scholarship to that. One guy spent $80,000 on a crap education for his daughter, and she's working a crap job. And so he gifted the scholarship to my school. Within 4 months, she was making $6,000 a month, quit her crappy job, and has her own agency now. So very powerful, very unique. So check it out at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. But don't do it until after you go to screwthecommute.com/super masterclass. So Christine is going to hone in on a very specific part. Your online business covers lots of things, folks, but the website is a critical part of it, and I want you to get the best training there is on that. All right, so let's get back to the main event. We got Christina Hills here. She's a ex-superstar executive that turned great mom and online marketer. So, Christina, what's a typical day look like for you now?
Well, I just want to make a little comment about what you said about the importance of a website. And I do talk about this in the masterclass. Your website is your real estate on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Virtual real estate, we call it. Yeah.
Virtual real estate. So you can't just think, oh, I have a LinkedIn page or, oh, I have a Facebook page. Like, you're a renter there.
Yep.
You don't own that. They can shut you down at any point.
And they do.
And they do. And they do. But when you have your own website, you are master of your domain. You have total control of it. It can give you the look and the vibe and the feel that you want to convey. And this is why I'm so passionate about teaching people how to do it themselves. So, okay, let's get back to the typical day. So I'm a morning person. I get up really early. In fact, Tom, you'll probably laugh at this. I like to have assistants who work on the East Coast, even though I'm in California. It's like, I want to start working at 6 a.m. and East Coast people, they're
Right.
for them it's 9 a.m.
Right.
right?
Exactly.
So I get up at 6 a.m. and as a person who works for themselves, Tom, I never set an alarm. Never.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't the only time I'll set an alarm is if I have to get on a plane.
Right.
That's the only
Got
time.
it.
So that's one of the wonderful things about leaving your job and being able to work for yourself. You get to run your own hours, and everybody's different. So I'll get up at 6 in the morning, and then I usually lay in bed for approximately 2 hours.
Wow.
And I might read, but I'll look at my phone, I'll check my orders, I'll look up my calendar on my phone, I'll make phone calls, return phone calls, and that is my office time, but it's in bed, right? Horizontal, right? So you can't get that with a job.
I know, but I can't get that either because things would start smelling because the dogs would poop all over the place.
Okay.
So I'd get up, then I can go back to sleep.
Yeah, well, so I lay in bed and I think about, make notes and what do I want to do for the day, and then I'll get up and whatever it is I'm doing that day, I might plan, what I'm teaching or return, emails or communication with my partners, and then I usually don't have my webinars until noon or 1 California time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a morning person, I like to do all my preparation early in the morning. So I might work on a PowerPoint or look at my calendar and plan out a promotion. And then I'll have, if I'm doing a call that day, um, I'll I'll have the time in the morning to make any changes I might want to my slides and then deliver my training, right? Either it's a free one, right? Like this
Mm-hmm.
masterclass, or it could be one for my students. And then afterwards in the afternoon, so my day kind of ends early-ish because I'm such an early
Mm-hmm.
bird. So I kind of keep East Coast hours. So I'm winding it down around 3 or 4 o'clock.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then what?
So what is the rest? Well, I
Yeah.
get exercise in there, right?
Okay.
Exercise in there. And then in the evening, dinner with my husband. Maybe we go to a movie.
Is your daughter
Maybe
still around? Is she in college or where?
she's in
She's in
college.
college now. Where'd she go?
Yeah. She went to UCLA.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're empty nesters now.
How was that transition?
Well, it it was good, and then the pandemic hit, and then she came back home.
Oh.
So that was not great because she was grumpy about it, and of course we love having her
Mm-hmm.
here, but not a teen who just got to college and now she had to go back home because of a pandemic.
Oh, gee.
So it's interesting when you become an empty nester, you've spent, 18 years with your kid in your house, and now you get to explore other things because you have more time.
I don't
So
want to
I'm
know about you two running the house naked. This is I don't want an explicit episode here.
so I'm very much into spirituality,
Mhm.
and so I spend a lot of my free time researching, reading, watching videos, contemplating the meaning of life and all that.
Good. Do my share for me too, because I'm a country bumpkin that just thinks about making money. So-
I'll do your share for
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Well, listen, being alive and making money and existing in this world is actually a spiritual path.
A certain type, I guess.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, it is
I
because,
don't think Eckhart Tolle would, put me up as a poster child. But
well, think of it this way, Tom. So I teach people how to build websites, but not only do they get a website, they get a personal transformation.
yeah.
Many
Oh, that's
people have
true.
been afraid of
Mm-hmm.
technology. their spouses and their family and friends have told them they can't do something, they come to me. I teach them because I specialize in non-techies.
Mm-hmm.
I teach them they can do it themselves and empower them, and they come away with not only a website but this sense of freedom and empowerment and knowing how to do things that they previously didn't know how to do.
Yeah, and then they can tell other relatives to shove it.
So that is in a way a spiritual journey because they've gone through a
Mm-hmm.
personal transformation and they have a website. It's just like, Tom, what you do in your mentoring program.
Yeah.
People go through a transformation.
Absolutely. I mean, their jaws drop when they do certain things. I mean, I've had so many I kind of forget about nowadays, but I've had them just crying that they can't believe they had such breakthroughs and doing things and they were going to lose it.
Yeah.
I had one lady come up to me at an event. I never even, she just saw me speak one time and at, my butt camp. So, and apparently they were going to lose their home. And they did what I'd said at butt camp, and now they had for 20 years have a beautiful online business. And
there you go, yeah. Tom. You're doing God's work.
I am spiritual. All right.
You are spiritual.
I'm not going to mess up like the Dalai Lama though did the other day. Just see that's it.
Let's not talk about that.
So, all right. Well, so good. So everybody, I want you to go to screwthecommute.com/super masterclass. And, if they need to ask any questions, how should they contact you?
If they need to ask any questions, there will be a little box on that page when they go there, actually. So in the right-hand corner, there's a little box, and they can chat and contact my team. And there's even a phone number on there. There should be a phone number on there. And but that's a way they can easily get a hold of us.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, folks, like I said, I don't endorse that many people, but this lady's done it big time, high quality, lots of touch. There's no, hiding from you, sticking you all on underlings all the time. She really, really takes care of her students. So check out this free masterclass at screwthecommute.com/super masterclass. And I think you will get your own little transformation by just going through that class.
Yes, they will. Absolutely.
Okay, so tell the hubby I said hi. And folks, we will catch you all in the next episode, and I'll see you over there at the Super Masterclass.
All right. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.